Hello everyone, we're going to be talking about perpendicular and parallel lines today. You guys that have your guide notes, this will be nice and easy because you already have the graphs drawn for you. Those of you that don't have your just writing on a piece of paper, please go ahead and try and draw these graphs as best as possible. And the main thing you need to be doing is graphing these, writing these equations. We will be writing them in slope-intercept form. So let's go ahead and identify this label as A and B, this graph A and B. So if I go to the y-intercept, I see that I am at 6 and a positive 6. So I'm going to now find my next nice point here, and I'm going to determine that we have right here. So I'm going to try and go down 1, 2, that's negative 2, to the left 1. So if I have negative 2 divided by negative 1, that gets me to a positive 2. So I have y equals 2x plus 6 is my equation for the first one. Now, I'm going to have y equals, and we're going to go to our y-intercept first, which is at negative 4, and I'm going to go up to that next nice point, so negative 4 here, and we're going to go up 1, 2, and to the right 1. So 2 divided by 1 equals 2. So my two equations for that are y equals 2x plus 6 and y equals 2x minus 4. Here we're going to say that we have a and b. And our first equation, we're going through the y-intercept, and we have our intercept is at 2. And then I want to show you guys here, our slope is actually going to be 0. And when we plug in 0 for here, we see that 0 times x is actually just going to be 0, so we're just going to be left with y equals whatever our y-intercept is. So let me show you that mathematically on the graph too. So I can't go up or down any, but I can go over 1 to my next slope. So if I don't go up or down any, my numerator is 0, divided by 1, that equals 0. So my equation is y equals, if I actually try and plug in y equals 0x plus my b is 2, 0 times x, we end up just getting 0, or y equals 2. So again, that's what's going to happen down here, but my y-intercept is going to be at negative 1. Here, this is going to be my graph A, this will be B. My y-intercept is at negative 4. And I'm going to use my slope now. I need to figure out where my slope is, and I actually see that it is right here. So I'm going to go down 1, which is negative 1, to the right 1. So negative 1 divided by 1 equals negative 1. And y equals negative 1x minus 4. And we don't have to actually write that negative 1 right there. You can actually see it as negative x minus 4. So either way, that is okay. Start with my b. I have a positive 3. And now I'm going to go ahead and go down 1 to the right 1. Negative 1 divided by 1 is negative 1. So y equals negative x plus 3. Okay, so what do you notice about the slopes of the parallel lines? So your slopes are the numbers in front of your x's. Remember the slopes here were both 0, and here they are all negative. So I want you guys to go ahead and enter that in. I want you to tell me what you notice about your parallel lines. We will go over that in class. Now we're going to get down to perpendicular lines. So we are finding the equations, again, in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and make this graph A, this one B. So we are going to go at the origin. My y-intercepts equals 0. They are at 0, 0. So that means that I am not going to have a b value. It already starts with the origin. So now I'm going to go ahead and determine my next point. I'm going to go up 1, 2, to the right 1. So 2 divided by 1 equals 2. So that is y equals 2x. And remember, if I put plus 0, we don't actually write that, so we want y equals 2x. And this always just tells us we start at the origin if we see something like this. Now again, I'm starting at the origin, that's my y-intercept, and I'm going to use my next one to find my slope. So I'm going to go down 1, which is negative 1, to the right 2. So now negative 1 divided by 2, I cannot simplify that fraction. This is my slope for my next equation. So negative 1/2 x. For this equation here, this will be A, this will be B. Again, we're starting at the origin, so our y-intercept is equal to 0. I'm going to now find my slope. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. So 3 divided by 1 equals 3. Y equals 3x. not plus 0 because that just tells us we started our origin. Then again, I'm starting at my origin. I'm going to go to the next nice point. So I'm going to go down 1, which is -1, to the right 3, so -1/3. That just is simplified, so we actually just leave it as -1/3. Make sure you're having y and x in all of your equations, you guys. And this one's going to be A, this is going to be B. This time we are not at the origin, so our y-intercept for A is all the way up here actually. So we have a +4. Now I'm going to determine my slope, and I'm just going to go to this point because it's a nice point there. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. So -4 divided by 1 equals -4. So my equation is -4x plus 4. Now I'm going to go to B. We kind of got like a decimal right there. It's kind of small, so I'm okay if you guys change your decimal. I'm just going to go with 0.25, and it's a negative. So I'm going to say -0.25. And I'm now going to try and figure out the slope for this one, which is a little bit more difficult, so you want to be careful. So if we actually go from a nice point to a nice point, let's not go from our y-intercept this time. Let's actually go from this point to another nice point, which I see is not there, about right here at -3. So I'm going to see, okay, if I go down 1, that's -1, and then to the left, 1, 2, 3. So -3. Oh, sorry. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I apologize. -4. So it's -1 divided by a -4. Negative by a negative is a positive, and we cannot simplify that, so it's y equals 1/4 x minus 0.25. So again, go ahead and look to see what you guys actually notice about those slopes. You're going to be looking at these numbers in front of that x there, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about those in your own words. Once you guys have completed that front of those two comments there, we will be going over this in class together. So that is actually it for our notes today. I'll see you in class.